So 5 ways to use Seqund in your music. Number 2, as a riff animator. So we've got a sequence running in Seqund that is coming out via MIDI into this synthesizer. And it's fine, but it's pretty boring. So what can we do about that? Well, what we can do is we can come down to these little MIDI CC controls here, click on them, and they appear. Now you can see I've actually already mapped them. Now if you don't know what a CC is, that's a continuous controller. It's just a data stream that runs via MIDI to a synthesizer or a sampler or whatever you're using. You can use them within your DAW as well, of course. And it's just a value that you can set on a per step basis or over time. So in this case, this particular synthesizer, CC42, which I've set up here, is the filter cutoff. CC43 is the filter resonance, and CC17 is the cross modulation between VCO1 and VCO2. So if we run our sequence and I start changing those values, we'll hear some differences happening and we'll start animating our riff. So you can hear the changes in the filter cutoff. Let's add some resonance. Already sounding much more interesting than it originally did. We can of course randomize these, and we can set the randomize ranges if we don't want it to be too extreme. And there we go, we've got some CC17, which is some cross modulation. Might be a bit extreme. Straight away, that is far, far more interesting than what we had originally. So after fiddling around for a little while, I found some settings that I like, and I've done 2 variations of the riff, pattern 1, pattern 2. It's very easy just to copy over and paste a pattern from one to the other and then make some little adjustments to it. And then I'm using this control here, C0 to B0. What that means is a MIDI note C0 upwards will switch between these patterns on the fly. And so I've got a MIDI track that's doing that. So let's hear the result. See it switching patterns. And the great thing is, of course, you can still interact with the instrument itself whilst it's being sequenced. So you can hear that we started with just this really basic 1-bar sequence, and then we brought in the CC modulation and animated it and made it far, far more interesting. It was very easy to do. We could randomize it, or we could do it with very specific values if we wanted, and away we go.